about the good things we've done. Think about the difference we've made in pockets all over the world. I was at a meeting in D.C. a couple of years ago. I chair an important committee. It's the Polio Advocacy Committee to eradicate polio. And we have a rather large coalition that meets in Washington once a year. But I was there, I chair that committee, and I heard a gentleman say something that I liked, and I have copied it and used it ever since. He said, he's a strategic partner, and he says, I give my money to the Rotary Foundation. He didn't say just Rotary International. He said, I give my money to the Rotary Foundation because it has respect, and you know you earn respect. It has credibility, and it has integrity. Stop and think about those three criteria for a minute. The Rotary Foundation, it has respect, it has credibility, it has integrity. That's why I'm for and about the Rotary Foundation. Last year, we gave to the foundation $408.6 million. That's a lot of money. The goal was $400 million, we exceeded it. And of course, $50 million of that went to help eradicate polio. I ask you today to do something. I ask all of my audiences to do this. As I speak, I want you to think about your lifestyle. Think about when you get up in the morning, you lift your feet, you get up and you start your day. You go through your day at night, you take a shower, you bath, whatever, and you get back into bed. And I want you to compare your lifestyle with what I'm going to share with you this morning. It's important that you do this. Let's start and talk about poverty, hunger, and health. Ladies and gentlemen, where there is poverty, there is hunger. And they live on less than $1.90 a day. Could you do that? 700 million people go to bed hungry every night. And approximately 13 million people starve to death every year. Every 60 seconds, a child goes blind somewhere in the world because there was no medical care. And every 3 seconds, a child dies somewhere in the world from starvation. That's 20 children dying every minute, 27,000 dying every day. Now, if you personalize my comments and you think about your lifestyle and so forth, how many of you had breakfast this morning? Raise your hand. Come on, I'm going to involve you. I'm not a boring speaker. How many of you might have had lunch on the way here? Maybe some crackers or Coke or something. How many of you plan to eat again today? Raise your hand. What is my point? My point with you is this. You and I will have had 1, 2, or 3 times more than about 700 to 800 million people in the world will not have one time today. Let's look at health care for just a minute. Again, almost 1 billion people have little or no access to health care. I experienced this in the great country of Peru. I was there working, Amazon jungle and other places, had an accident, went to a clinic, walked into that clinic, saw what it looked like and so forth, and walked right back out. I was able, with some people, to take care of myself, get on the plane and come home. It is so obvious in so many parts of our world that there is little or no health care. If I asked you today, and we had time, what does good health care mean to you? And I know there's been a lot of discussion in our country about that. But what does good health care mean to you? This is what it means to me. It means wholesome food. It means clean water. It means access to immunizations. It means access to prenatal care. It means access to dental hygiene. Access to modern surgical techniques to correct crooked limbs, cleft palates, and defective hearts. And the list goes on and on. You know, where I live in Columbia, if I have a foot problem, I can get to a podiatrist. If I have a kidney problem, I can get to a urologist. If I have chest pains, in most cases, not all cases, but in most cases, I I can get to a cardiologist. Ladies and gentlemen, about 1 billion people in the world that you and I live in cannot get to or do not have access to health care like you and I do.